I did a tweet, and it seems to have hit a nerve. Anyone else feel that Johnny Depp is defending his truth and Amber Heard is defending her ideology? I tweeted that on Saturday just as a throwaway comment, and flip, it took off. It exploded, well, for me, and I've had over 6,000 likes, actually it's close to 7,000 likes now, and it's been retweeted over 500 times. Just absolutely gobsmacked. So I thought I better kind of qualify what I meant by that tweet. So, let's look at Johnny Depp. What's his truth? Well, we all know that he's a bit of a Captain Jack Sparrow, or maybe Captain Jack Sparrow was him, I don't know. But we all knew that he did drugs, he liked alcohol, and he's never tried to hide that. And let's be honest, Amber would have known that when she got involved with him. And we also know that he's tried to get clean too. And you don't have to be on Team Johnny or Team Amber to feel sympathy for Johnny. Just trying to be a habit is really hard. We all know that, and he admits it too. So let's turn to Amber. What's Amber's truth? And more importantly, if she knew, would she ever be able to admit it? In the London trial, we never heard it because there was no need for us to hear it. The appeal stated that in an approach of that kind, and just to explain, this means that find a verdict on a balance of probability. And they continue to explain that there was little need or room for the judge to give weight to any general assessment of Miss Heard's credibility. So they didn't have to look at Amber's truth. The balance of probability standard means that if a court is satisfied an event occurred, if the court considers that on the balance of evidence, the occurrence of the event was more likely to have happened than not. But now we're listening to her give evidence. And I don't know about you, but it just feels like she's hiding something or she's protecting something because her evidence is so weak. She looks lost in the stand and she's looking for help. Help me. The question is she protecting a cause or an ideology? Some of the tweets suggest that she's protecting or promoting herself and that is all that she's ever done. Here are a few of the tweets, just replies on my tweet alone. I personally think they're a bit harsh. Let's be honest, we all look out for ourselves. And we're not asking Amber to be a saint. If you've been divorced, it gets messy. Splitting up is never easy. So the big question here is, what is Amber's ideology? Like so many couples with failed marriages, the downs happened more often than the highs. Or, in their case, the downs probably happened after the highs. Anyway, while they were married, they brought out the best in each other, but they also brought out the worst in each other. And I know I can relate to that. Okay, so things started to go downhill in May 2016 when Amber got her TRO, temporary restraining order. Now, I could go down the legal route here and start describing everything, but Greg Ellis calls this a silver bullet scenario. In fact, he's got lots of different silver bullets. And I'm not going to focus on that. But once you get into the legal system, you get involved in a very powerful mechanism that propels us into the situation that we see today with Johnny and Amber. And if you've ever experienced a family court, either here in the UK or in the US, you will know that once you've entered it, oh gosh, it is so difficult to escape. Please do watch Greg's video. I'm going to put a link down below. Now, let's get back to Amber. I'd imagine that after the divorce, like many of us who have been there, Amber would have licked her wounds and she would try to figure out where she wanted her life to go next, what went wrong, and what she could do to improve her situation. I know, that's what I did. It's at this point that she began to get involved with influential women, like Michelle Dauber. Now, here she is in 2016. And let's have a closer look at Michelle's website. Soon after this, Amber became involved with ACLU. She made the donation, and then 2 years later she became the ambassador, and she got involved with UN Women. She used her fame to focus on causes like the plight of Syrian refugees. Now, I want you to be clear here. I fully support this. Refugees everywhere need our compassion, and they need everyone to support them. But more than this, has she succumbed to radical feminist ideologies? By winning her case in London, I'm going to ask another question. Has she become, if it's possible, the poster girl for radical feminists? She's had a child through surrogacy. She has represented women for the UN, but my evidence for this is her inability to be accountable for her actions, to admit that she could be a perpetrator of domestic abuse, because women don't abuse. When we see statements like this in The Guardian, it normalises the belief that all men are misogynists and that women don't abuse. But do they? We've heard enough evidence from Amber and from Johnny to know that neither of them are innocent. And we've seen from Johnny's testimony that he lost the end of his finger. And according to the English standard of civil law, I would suggest that by the balance of probability standard, it would mean that a court, of public opinion at least, is satisfied that an event occurred if the court considers that on the evidence of the occurrence of the event was more likely than not. Sorry, that sounded really garbled and long-winded, but you get what I mean. So, let's get back to radical feminists. What do I mean by radical feminist ideologies? Well, patriarchy, misogyny, believe all women, toxic masculinity, kill all men. Can you believe that last one? These hashtags are trending on Twitter along with Johnny and Amber hashtags. Radical feminists aim to dismantle the entire system of patriarchy, rather than making adjustments to the existing system through legal or social efforts. I would argue that we are in a very dangerous position where terms like these are thrown about like Smarties and men are powerless, like Johnny Depp, to defend themselves. If Johnny can't defend himself, who can? Guilty until, well, as Greg Ellis said, it really doesn't matter, because the allegation is enough to change everyone's life forever. The MeToo movement was well intended to encourage women to come forward and rightly get men to challenge their preconceived ideas of what is acceptable locker room banter. And some of the things that we heard during that period of time were rightly revolting and not acceptable. But has MeToo gone too far? I would argue that it's been hijacked by women like Michelle Dauber, Jess Taylor, Charlotte Proudman, Joan Meyer, Adrian Barnett, and many of the UN women, the media, government. Here in the UK we have Jess Phillips, to promote their ultimate aim of ridding the world of the patriarchy. Let me remind you that radical feminists aim to dismantle the entire system of patriarchy, rather than making adjustments to the existing system through legal or social efforts. Does that mean they want to get rid of the whole constitution in the US? But more importantly, what do they want to replace it with? The thing is, this whole argument is self-destructive. Families comprise of men and women, boys, girls, children of both sexes, regardless of their gender identity. We all belong to at least one family. What this case has highlighted, nobody seems to be addressing is how we support perpetrators of domestic abuse, including women. All we seem to be doing is casting blame, and we're totally lacking compassion. And what suffers exponentially? The family. I am going to end with Johnny's friend, Isaac Baruch, who I believe echoes what we all think.
Am I angry anymore? I'm not, what I am is tired, and I want this all to end. Her to go heal, him to go heal. So many people have been affected by this malicious lie that she started and she created, and it's gone out the door and around the world. And so I can't even paint anymore. I've stopped painting for the last who knows how many years, and that's affected by stuff. I'm not angry at anybody. I want the best for her to take her responsibility, heal, and move on. And for Johnny, his family has been completely wrecked by all of this stuff, and it's not fair. It's not right what she did and what happened for so many people to get affected from this. It's insane.